Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Is It Worth the Gold video. Today we're looking at the WZ-120-1G FT, as it says in the title. And as always, let's start with the armor. So this gets a pretty nice upper plate of 120mm sloped around 50 plus degrees. Gives you effective armor frontally of around 200 all around. Some places more, some places less. This plate below the gun is also pretty decent at 140mm sloped at the same angle, so there is definitely quite a bit of armor for a tier 8 tank destroyer. The lower plate, however, 80mm, also sloped pretty well, but 80mm you can slope whatever you want and it's still not going to be very good. So lower plate on this tank is pretty much cheese, and everything that's going to shoot at it will pan it. The gun mantlet, reasonably solid, some soft spots here as you can see. 200, but mostly it is better than that, and gun mantlet wouldn't be someplace I would recommend to aim. Even if the armor below the gun is only 200, it's still not that great of an angle to be bothering with. There is cupolas, they're really small though, so you won't really hit them. The side armor, 80, not bad for an unturreted TD. The bottom side armor is 60 though, so again, not a lot of angling can be done, first of all because you don't have a turret, and second of all because the side armor is not that great. You do have this bullshit side armor zone though, you can get quite a bit of armor here, so you know, some idiot proof side armor, but again, if you show your side, you should get, well, you should expect to get penned at least. Anyways, that being said, let's get into the game. Alright, here we go, playing Malinovka Encounter. Tier 8 tank in a Tier 8 game. I know, it's a fucking miracle. Well, the good matchmaking definitely helps, because the armor becomes way more relevant in this kind of a matchup. The gun on this tank is good enough to pen most things you're going to be fighting, no matter what the matchmaking is like. So, matchmaking isn't crucial, obviously helps though. But before we get into too much action, let's talk stats. Comparing it to the Scorpion G, the other tier 8 premium tank destroyer. So we start off with 1100 hit points, 380 meter view range, top speed forwards 50, backwards 20, power to weight of 16.11 with better soft stats than on the Scorpion. So this means nothing, of course, because this you can see in the game and this you cannot. Tank traverse 43.8, effective traverse you can see as well, reasonably good traverse on all the terrains. Gun elevation 15, gun depression 6. Gun traverse range is -10, +10, so 20 degrees. It's not too bad for a tank destroyer like this. When we come to the gun, 2809 DPM, damage per shot 440, penetration 248, aim time of 2.8 pretty much, accuracy of 0.35. The soft stats are better than on the Scorpion, but no, you don't have a turret, so this is gonna be horrible for your gun. Shell velocity is 1000 meters per second, which is nice. Shell cost is only 1065 credits as well for 440 damage. That is really good value, and obviously the gun depression and elevation is the same in your gun traverse. Alright, to sum this tank up, similar to its looks, all the other characteristics are similar to the SU-122-1G, with an exception that you actually have a really good amount of penetration for the tier you're in. But does that compete with the Scorpion is the real question, and Scorpion is the tank you need to compare any other tier 8 premium tank destroyer to, because Scorpion is pretty much the most played, best credit maker in the game. And can this really compete? Not really, not in my opinion. While it is a good premium, I actually have probably the highest damage per game in this tank for now. I mean, the win rate isn't really there, but the damage you can do per game is definitely there, and this tank isn't bad for sure, but at the same time, can you compete with the best of the best from the tier 8 premiums, especially the Scorpion? Not really. Missing out on the turret is a really big deal, and as you can see, this aiming time is rather poor, to say the least. The one thing this tank does better than the Scorpion, similar to the SU-122-1G, is being top tier. When you are top tier, this tank does shine a bit more than the Scorpion, as the armor can be relevant. The lower plate will never bounce anything, like I said, but if you can hide that, or if your enemies just don't shoot at it, this tank has a potential to bounce quite a lot of tier 6s and 7s quite easily, and you have this insane DPM. so you can just chew them apart really quickly. Bad shooting here from my part, should have waited. This was such a much easier shot than the one that I took there, but now it seems that it is too late. So this is kind of a weird game for a tank like this, but being in a turretless TD kind of forces you to play like this, because like I could have gone a hill and it wouldn't probably be too terrible, because you know, like I said, this tank can be reasonably good if you can hide your lower plate, and if you play hull down on the hill, you can be, you know, in a reasonably good position, missing some more shots. Kind of feeling like I'm throwing the game, because I really am not doing anything whatsoever at the moment, and I really need to start nailing my shots here. The fully aimed accuracy isn't that great, the 4.35, but it isn't too bad either. I mean, it's not Scorpion great, the 4.28 or something like that. And that definitely is a downside to this as well. And now finally we are hitting shots. Finally our enemies in our kinda effective range of 4.35, so we can do some damage at least. Just trying to single out the targets that I should, and of course, I hit the gun of the dead defender instead of the pilot there. I might pick up this 416, but he gets away in time. And now the KV-4 is pushing. We're gonna clean that up reasonably easily. As you can see, the soft stats on the gun thrower as well, not being bad, definitely aren't the best thing ever either. And now we're just munching away the hit points of the enemy team. This tank is great for that. The amount of DPM you have is pretty damn sweet for a tank like this. Another kill for us, and suddenly from pretty much doing nothing the entire game, we are sitting almost on 3k damage. But we are still losing, and my left side is quite exposed. They still have a light tank, which is probably, well, not probably, which is the biggest issue about this game at the moment. If we can't kill that light tank, we might actually run into some serious trouble here. Nail another shot on that T28. Also, one thing that needs to be mentioned, the camo on this tank is actually pretty damn solid. That shot went absolutely nowhere. The thing I definitely should mention about this tank is that it has pretty decent camo. It's not on par with Swedish tank destroyers when stationary. It's more on par like with Borsig, which is still alright. It's definitely not bad camo. And the other great thing about this is that it has a 380 meter view range standard. So with some equipment you can get that up to 450. You need a good crew and need the optics, obviously, but optics is definitely a preferred equipment choice here, and you definitely want to rock that full view range if you can. I've kind of been sitting in this position literally the entire game. It is a good position, but arguably you could say that the reason why the hill failed so horribly is because I wasn't there to really support it, but yeah, I don't think every tier 8 in their team was on the hill to support that as well. But we are at 3.6k damage, and our team is kind of slowly and steadily crawling back in this game. And now maybe we can make it even closer by shooting this pilot, which we do not manage to do. But as you can see, he did not actually spot me. So the camo working there really well for me. And if he keeps pushing, we should be having an easy time killing him. The Tiger gets picked up by the 5100, and now we're going to drive back up on the top of the hill. Maybe we can spot one of the other guys left alive. The 5100 cleans up too, but dies to the Bulldog. So 10-11, still winning, still losing, sorry, but it is getting closer and closer. Since I haven't made any videos on any of the other tank destroyers, is this thing worth for the crew training for Chinese tank destroyers, or generally, is Chinese tank destroyers going to be something that you want to grind? And the pretty much answer to that is no. Also, if you're wondering why I'm not shooting him, it is because I was drinking beer, and beer is definitely more important than winning games, so yeah, definitely missing out on an easy kill there because of my self-destructive habits. But hey, we're gonna get him in the next pass, right? Plus, we are giving him false sense of security that he can peek that. And now the T10 is making a run for I don't even know what. We do not have more gun traverse, so I had to shoot right there and then. Quite a lucky shot, hit pretty much a pole from the side. So that works really well for me, and now there is only 4 of them remaining, including that D69 that should have been dead. But then again, if I killed that 69, we probably wouldn't get to shoot that T10, so, you know, it all comes around, and the T69 can't really escape from that position. The problem is I can't really do anything either because he's there. I cannot go around and justify trying to push an autoloader. I missed one shot and I pretty much died there, so there's no way I can really push this, so we're just still chilling in our tank destroyer. What a dynamic gameplay. And then again, this is one of the more dynamic tank destroyers in the game. It's not as good for aggressive play as the Scorpion, but it is more of the aggressive style TD, and that was a glorious shot. 10 out of 10. Hats off for that one. God damn it, dude. I mean, I could have aimed more into the center mass, but T69's turret has those tendencies of having really weird bounces, so I didn't want to anything to do with the turret. So instead I shot under the T69, so that is awesome. Gonna push back up here to try to not let him get away, and he doesn't, and the Yak Panther finishes him off. And now is the time we can finally actually play this video game and leave our position that we cradled for 9 minutes or so. So 3 of them remaining. I have no idea what the hit points are like on any of them, really. I know the T28 has around 800, the M4 Rev picks up the mill. I should be able to kill the M4 Rev reasonably easily here, as he should not really be expecting me to push this. I mean, he could be, but who knows. I mean, that position he's in is pretty bad either way. The sad part is the rest of our team, the 2 other tank destroyers, literally are sitting so far away that they're definitely completely irrelevant to this game. So we're not gonna, yeah. Well, we just took the hit. I mean, it's better than missing my shot. If I miss my shot, he lives. So I wanted to aim long enough to make sure that I have a reasonably good chance to hit him, and in the end we do, so it is all good. And now just going around this side, checking for Bulldog. We don't really want to let him flank, because this TD is not that easy to flank because of the great traverse and the struggle of shooting a tank destroyer on a slope. That is probably one of the worst things in this game. We do get lucky, we do pen him, we do nail him for a nice bit of his hit points, and here another pass, and we got the kill, and we are at 6 already with 4.5k damage done. So now the last thing that has to be done is that I need to find the T28. Well, the T28 has really good DPM. I shouldn't really have problems with his armor, and he really shouldn't have too much problems with mine either. So if he's actually looking my way, we are likely to actually lose the fight, as he will out-reload me, and he only needs 2 shots. Plus, if he's just sitting there looking at me, we might still lose this, but to be honest, I don't really care too much. I mean, if I spot him and if he's in the open, my teammate should help me out, and if he's not in the open, then he probably will never make it to the cap in time anyway. So just pushing up here, trying to go for the last kill. Well, I did miss quite a lot of shots in this game. We did hit the ones that really mattered. The Bulldog shot, the 110 shot. Obviously, killing the T69 would have been pretty good for me as well, but that was obviously my fault for drinking beer while playing this game. But hey, how the hell can you play this sober anyways? But yeah, the last guy left alive. No real idea where he's at. If he would be smart, he would know that I'm coming for that ass, but it seems that he doesn't really care too much, and he gets spotted on the other side. So we should be able to just clean him up. And even though we played like a sniper in this game, this tank does not actually do too badly as the sniper, as you do have okay-ish accuracy of 0.35. Where this tank really struggles is actually getting shots after moving, and here I'm just gonna make sure that I'm close enough to not have to bother with that at all, and that he cannot hide anywhere. And the weird TD stopping angle almost fucked me there, but I do get the tracking shot, and the Yak Panther finishes him off. Alright, so here's the end plate. Ace Tanker, 2,451 experience with a premium account. Top Gun, high caliber, 5,484 damage done, 951 assisted. Picked up 6 kills with 1,634 base experience. And in the end, we profited 113,000 credits from this game. Alright, so the question is this tank worth the gold? And the answer comes from another question: is this tank as good as the Scorpion G? Because that is the tank destroyer, the big banger, the tank you want to get if you want to get a tank destroyer. So, is this better? No. Is this worth the gold then? No. Is it terrible? No. It's alright. I wouldn't blame you for getting one. The Chinese tanks in general aren't that good, and arguably this is the best Chinese tank destroyer in the game, tier for tier. So Yeah, it's really hard to justify buying this one. The lack of turret, the frustrating gun handling. The armor can be good and it can stomp lower tiers like crazy, and the gun is good enough to still be relevant in higher tier games, but again, would I pick this or a Scorpion? I would pick the Scorpion. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you on the next one.